Hello again. Welcome to John and Lisa's Jazz Joint. We've started looking at a remarkable lady. Her name is Dorothy Fields, and she was recognized as the first lady to be inducted into the American Songwriters Hall of Fame. She even had a postage stamp created in her honor. She came by her talents legitimately. Her father was a vaudeville comedian who turned into a stage producer, and she wanted to become an actress herself, as we mentioned in the last episode. But as it turned out, she found that her greater talent was in behind the scenes, being both as a songwriter and also as a librettist. And I didn't know what a librettist was, so I had to look it up. It turns out that that's the person that writes the dialogue in between the songs. So she was a multi-talented lady and very able to work with collaborators. She worked with at least 7 different musicians, song composers. The first one that we took a look at last week, or in the last session, Jimmy McHugh. She worked with him for 7 years. And this first song that we're doing today was one of the many hits that came out of that first 7-year collaboration. You have to remember back in the late 1920s, there was a Wall Street crash where a lot of people lost their fortunes. There was a Great Depression starting in 1929. So the economic prospects were not very good. And it seemed as though there was really no upside to it. So it was very important that she came out with a song that kind of lifted everybody's spirits. It starts off with the verse as follows: "Walked with no one and talked with no one, and I had nothing but shadows. Then one morning you passed, and I brightened at last. Now I greet the day and complete the day with the sun in my heart. All my worry blew away when you taught me how to say." And then it leads into the chorus, which a lot of people know, "On the sunny side of the street." We'll give you an instrumental lead into it, and then we'll do the vocal version. Hope you enjoy it. This is from 1930. Not sure whether the volume is up enough. Let me just give it a little more juice. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter-pat and the happy tune is your step? life can be complete on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover's crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. On the sunny side of the street. So that was one of many hits for Dorothy Fields and her collaborator Jimmy McHugh. The next piece of music is quite a contrast to it. It comes out of her experience of writing for the movies. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers are well known as setting the high example of what a dance movie should be like. And they did 6 movies in the 1930s, the last one being a movie called Swing Time. Ginger Rogers, gorgeous as ever. Fred Astaire, loves to dance, debonair and all of that. This song comes from the movie Swing Time in 1936, I believe. And it's really a very memorable song in terms of a memory of how things were on that perfect evening when people connect. Sometimes it's sort of love at first sight, but when that does happen and you, quote, fall in love, there are memories that you carry for a lifetime. This one is called The Way You Look Tonight. Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Oh, but you're lovely, with your smile so warm, and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you, just the way you are tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fear apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please arrange it, 'cause I love you just the way you are tonight. Beautiful love ballad then from Dorothy Fields. Again, I imagine Fred was singing it to Ginger Rogers in the movie Swing Time. Of course, her career continued, and she went on to be the inspiration and the writer for Annie, Get Your Gun, You Can't Get a Man with a Gun, and all kinds of Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better songs. And then again, another song, another movie later in her career, Sweet Charity with Shirley MacLaine. So those are things to look forward to in our next episodes. Happy to have you along at John's Jazz Joint. Lisa and I bid you farewell. Stay well and see you next time. Bye for now.